Arts in Depth, a 1/2-hour televised program presented to you by the Cultural Council of Indian River County. I am Barbara Hoffman, Executive Director of the Cultural Council and your host for Arts in Depth. Thank you for watching. For many centuries, the church was the center of art and culture. It is the mission of the Community Church of Vero Beach to stand firmly with this tradition and to support its arts and cultural organizations. And the mission of the Community Church's music ministry is to build up the body of Christ by involving people of all ages in a music program that glorifies God, edifies the church, and reaches out into the community. My guest today is Ryan A. Kasten, Director of Music, Organist of the Music Ministry of the Community Church. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you.
You have been the Director of Music now for a couple of years. What is your vision for the very important position you serve in your church, and how has that program developed over the last 5 to 10 years?
Well, we have to first look back about 20 years and thank Dr. Ray Adams, who is at the Charter High School as the director for the Schumann Visual Performing Arts School out there. Ray started really truly building the music program up for the community church and as well as for the community of Vero Beach. He laid a great foundation. About 11 years ago, then Dr. Jose Daniel Flores came into town and took that foundation and really tweaked it as well as started to perfect it too. And now I'm building upon those two gentlemen's past legacies and hopefully can take it to the next level as well. We at Community Church are trying to really reach out to our community. We offer our facility for the arts with numerous programs, not only just the concert series that the church runs, but also having the Vero Beach Choral Society back with us, and then of course the Indian River Symphonic Association. As you said, the arts and the church have a wonderful marriage all the way through history, and we'd like to see that marriage continue going into the next century.
And tell us a little bit more about what you see as the future.
The future is, for me, is more intergenerational. Getting children along with adults involved in the music program. The children can learn from the adults, and the energy that the children bring help to energize our adults in our community.
Great. Well, you spend a lot of time doing that. One of the things that that we hear so much about is the wonderful church organ. And there is a long story about that. Let's start that story.
So before the renovations and before the current organ, the lively Fulcher that we have in the pipe organ that we have in the church, we had a Visser tracker organ. Unfortunately, it was coming under the need for more and more repairs on a weekly basis, and also it lacked a little bit of the energy needed for worship that Jose Daniel thought at the time. I was actually fortunate to play that instrument when I interviewed for the position back in 2009, and I remember playing it and pulling on all the stops, as they would say, and also feeling how heavy the action was, and was realizing, wow, this is kind of a heavy instrument that needed some work. And then was very fortunate also to learn then after I played, the organ was actually removed the next week, and then the procedure became to put the new organ in. Now, organs have a unique marriage with the church. You can have really great organs in bad rooms, and that actually equals bad organs, but then you can have really great organs in great rooms, then you get a great room, or a great organ. The room has to be equally as good as the organ, otherwise you've spent a lot of money for nothing. And so that was the basis for the renovations for the organ and the church.
We're going to continue this story because that organ is something very special, not only for the church, but for our whole community. So we'll take a brief break.
Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
I'm back with Ryan Kasten of Community Church. Music and worship have been inextricably linked for as long as humankind can remember. The extensive and comprehensive music program at the Community Church required this instrument, the organ, that would excel as a workshop leader as well as a recital instrument, both solo and with orchestra. Please continue telling us the story of the church's magnificent organ.
So the committee that helped to build, purchase, and design the organ saw three major things that they wanted the organ to be able to do. First of all, they wanted to be able to lead worship in the congregational singing and accompanying the choirs. That was the first primary thing for the organ. The second one was to be a solo recital instrument. In this area, we actually kind of lack good pipe organs, and we wanted to have one of those that of a recital quality that we would expect like at a major university, like where I studied for my degree recitals. And then finally, we wanted the organ to be able to go up against a symphonic orchestra. And that was the basis for the design of the instrument. The Lively Fulcher pipe organ at Community Church can do all three, and it can go from the most sweet, subtle sound to a mighty roar in really just a push of a button.
I have heard you play that organ at times, and I, at one time in my life, was a church organist.
Really?
As well. Yes.
I didn't realize that. Oh.
And I know the excitement that you feel when you're playing such a magnificent instrument, and just explain how it makes you feel.
It really transcends you to another world. I mean, there's nothing like it. You can just get lost for hours practicing it. The wonderful thing about the pipe organ is you're constantly discovering new sounds and new combination of sounds. So sometimes you want the trumpets on, sometimes you just want the soft flutes, sometimes you want the strings. So there's always new sounds that we're discovering and new pairing of sounds. So I mean, you can just get lost in there for hours and not realize it.
I know, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. The inspiring weekly music offered in worship is performed by several choirs: the children's choir, the chancel choir, and the chapel choir. How do you schedule and manage these choirs, and what is the difference between them?
Well, the chancel choir and the chapel choir are actually the same choir. It's just a smaller portion of the chancel choir. So our chancel choir numbers run about 80 members. And our chapel, the chancel of the chapel where the choir sit, only can seat 20. So 20 out of the 80 come sing for that 8:30 morning service, and bless their hearts, they get up every Sunday and come sing with me, and they love it. We have a great time. And then, of course, the chancel choir, that sings for our primary worship on Sunday mornings in the main sanctuary. The children's choir is our feeder choir to pretty much all choirs. We start at age 4 with our children and start to teach them to appreciate and enjoy music and learn how to use their voice in singing praises to God.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're wonderful, wonderful choirs, and you also are the director of the Atlantic Children's Chorale and the Atlantic Youth Choir. Tell us about these groups.
These are groups that the church helps to foster. It is actually a separate nonprofit 501c3 group. Children from all over Indian River County, St. Lucie County, come together to sing. Right now there is about 26 in the older choir, which is for grades 6 through 12, and then 16 in the younger choir, which is grades 2 through 5. And that is a little bit more intense. That is more serious singing being done with primary focus on singing, whereas the children's choirs of the church that happen, we have a little bit more fun in that group. This one, the Atlantic Children's Chorale and Atlantic Youth Chorus, those are real serious, and that is also a performing choir, so they actually perform twice a year.
Excuse me, but we're going to hear more about these in just a moment. One moment.
Join Marsha Littlejohn nightly at 5 and 9 on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
I'm here again with Ryan Kasten, who is the music director for the community church, and we were talking about your other roles that you play as a director of Atlantic Children's Chorale and of the Atlantic Youth Choir. Tell us about those.
So, the Atlantic Children's Chorale and Youth Chorus, we're actually looking for more children to come sing with us. We're very fortunate to be a recipient of the Quail Valley Charity Grant, which this actually, the Children's Chorale is a tuition-based program, but that should not scare off people, because with this wonderful grant from the Quail Valley Charity nonprofit grant foundation, they are able to help us to underwrite scholarships for students that want to sing with us. We have students that most likely probably would not be able to afford to be in this extracurricular activity because of the tuition, and because of that we actually have that. The chorale and the children's chorus, I'm very fortunate to have two wonderful colleagues that help me. Number one, the associate director for the Atlantic Children's Chorale is Serena Wolfgang, and she has her bachelor's in education, music education, and she brings in a wonderful wealth of knowledge about children's music education as well as energy. She is a firecracker. And then we just recently brought on board for both the church, first of all, and then as a second role with the Children's Chorale, Justin Maxey. He is our Associate Director of Music and Organist in Residence. So if you want to hear the organ, that's the person to come listen to. He blows me out of the water. And he's also a wonderful accompanist and also a very high energy musician that he is now going to be assisting me with the Children's Chorale on all levels as well.
Now Justin has a pretty beautiful looking resume and background. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Justin, he has his undergrad from Shorter College in Rome, Georgia in organ performance, and then he's actually almost finished with his master's from Eastman Conservatory up in Rochester, New York, and he will be playing his last recital this coming spring, of which he will actually debut the recital here as well. So that will be some world-class playing, and he's also freelanced all over the United States and as well as Europe as a recitalist and church musician. Recently he was at the noted Peachtree Road United Methodist Church in downtown Atlanta, which is a very prestigious church in the Atlanta area, so we are very fortunate that we were able to snag him to our wonderful community of Vero Beach.
And hopefully he enjoys it here.
So far he seems to, yes.
That's great. Why do you feel that music is so important for children and youth?
The benefits of music education is unsurpassing. The cognitive skills that it helps to develop within the child's mind, as well as their processing skills of math and sciences, the research is out there. So a child who studies either private lessons or sings within an ensemble or plays within instrument group, they tend to do better in their schoolwork and studies as well as their social interactions. They learn how to work together as a team for a common project and goal, and they lose the individuality and become a team player very quickly, as well as, they singing and teaching them singing is something they'll be able to carry with them for the rest of their life.
And when you look at the biographical sketches of some of the most important people in the United States and in the world, all of them have had some kind of musical training.
Yes.
We'll be back shortly.
Watch Chamber Buzz at 6 and 10 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays on VeroBuzzTV.com.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
No house of worship is complete without bells. Ryan, you are the founding director of the acclaimed Atlantic Singers and the founder and festival director of the annual Treasure Coast Regional Handbell Festival. Please tell us about the bells.
Well, what can I say? I'm sort of a ding-a-ling. That's the joke about bells. The Atlantic Ringers is a community-based organization with handbell ringers from all over the Treasure Coast, all the way down our furthest person comes from Jupiter. He actually just moved here and from Texas last summer. And first thing he did was try to find a handbell ensemble, and he found out about us and said, "Can I come audition?" And he is with us. He's a wonderful ringer. I had been playing bells since I was in 3rd grade. I remember the church I was growing up in getting the first set of bells, and the director of music, who was actually my organ teacher, putting a group of us together, both adults and children, to try these out, and just instantly fell in love. The Atlantic Ringers, were now in our 5th season, almost our 6th season. We have a great time. We do 2 concerts a year. And then about 3 years ago, decided, the handbell area is something I wanted to help develop in the area of Vero Beach. And I have a bunch of new colleagues in the area who just moved into this area, like Jason Holbroch, Jacob Craig, Megan Mash, Ryan Hostler, and they all share the same passion for bells. And we decided how fun it would be to put all of our groups together and do a festival. So the first year, to save money, I conducted the festival, and then the year after that, we had Andrea Headley from the Chicago Bronze, Chicago, Illinois, come in as our guest clinician and conductor. Last year was Bob Avant from Baylor University and Baylor Bells. This next February, we will have Fred Graham, who is a noted composer, clinician, and conductor of handbells, come from the American Church in Paris. So we're becoming an international, or bringing international acclaim to our little festival here in Vero Beach. It averages about between 7 to 12 ensembles. We do it in the sanctuary at Community Church, which has the great acoustics. Most people don't realize that, or they may realize that, of course, when you clear the chancel off with all the choir furniture, the pulpit, the lectern, and altar, it can host a 90-piece orchestra. So we can actually fit 12 to 15 ensembles into the sanctuary. They come together, we play. The best part is, it sounds very unique because handbells are tuned to their own set, but not necessarily tuned to the next set. So as a conductor and clinician, you have to decide, okay, is that just the handbells being out of tune to each other, or are they actually playing wrong notes? But we have a good time. The idea is to foster energy and excitement for our bell programs, which I think we have seen being accomplished here in Vero.
Now, are there other instruments besides bells, or is it just strictly bells?
Well, we have the handbells, and then we also have what they call choir chimes, which are silver and black metal bars. Those are actually a little bit more rugged and rigid, so you can actually let children play those and not worry about them cracking or breaking. Handbells will tarnish if you touch the brass part, so we always have to wear gloves. There's a lot of things you have to think about when playing the bells. There's actually about 7 different kinds of handbells that you can choose from. Now, we only own 2 sets we own hand chimes and we own handbells. But next year, after Fred Graham, we're hopefully bringing in David Harris, who is the director and founding director of the Raleigh Ringers. And if you've ever seen the Raleigh Ringers Christmas special on PBS, they actually showed 7 different styles of handbells. That's a goal, but I have a long way to go.
Oh, that's really, really exciting. And you select the music?
I do. For all the programs in the church, as for the children's choir, the only group I don't have anything really to say about is the Bridge Choral Society. Everything else, I'm pretty much looking at picking all the music.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment.
Join us for an adventure weekdays at 4:30 and 8:30 on Buzz TV Network.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare supplement team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
In reviewing the community church's special events and concert series, I mean, you have wonderful things with the Choral Society, with the Indian River Symphonic Association, the Tapestry Brass Chamber Music Ensemble, but there's one special one that's called the Nautilus Chamber Ensemble of 20 singers. Tell us about the whole concert series, but especially the Nautilus Chamber Ensemble, which you started.
So Nautilus started this summer. About 10 of us that are really good friends and colleagues got together saying we really missed the days of college. Who doesn't? But also specifically because the fact that in college, as musicians, we were able to achieve some wonderful musical moments within our ensembles because we're all studying music at that time. We wanted to achieve that same thing where the expectations are greater than anything we have right now, meaning that we actually come to the music with all music prepared. So there's no rehearsing notes. We actually start making music once we walk in. So that's one of the first key important things about being a Nautilus is if you're going to be a member of this group, you have to be able to prepare the music yourself and come in with the notes and rhythms learned, and then that way we can instantly start making music right when we hit the door. This is a 20-voice ensemble. We'll make our debut on Sunday afternoon, October 11th, at the Atlantic Choral Festival, which is a new festival that I've created. I'm taking after you. I'm always creating these new things, so one of these days it's going to catch up with me. But the Atlantic Choral Festival, we're actually bringing in Dr. Andre Thomas from the Florida State University, who is actually my professor, mentor, and friend, to be our guest clinician and conductor, and it will feature the Indian River Charter High School Choir under Gary Miller's direction. Vero Beach Choral Society will be there. The Chancel Choir of First Presbyterian under Jacob Craig's direction, and then of course the Chancel Choir of Vero Beach Community Church. This festival came about because of the fact that Jacob, Jason, and I decided that we wanted to bring Andre in, and we're all Florida State grads. Go Noles. Sorry, Gators. It's not your year. So we are excited to have that. So this will be an annual thing in our concert series, and we're already making plans for 2016-17 to have another choral festival with another world-renowned choral conductor. The Nautilus will be there. We will sing 2 pieces, and then our big concert for Nautilus will be in November, as well as the Atlantic Children's Chorale and Atlantic Youth Chorus will be singing their concert in November. The one to mark the date for is Sunday evening, December 13th. We bring everybody together. All the ensembles in residence at Community Church will do a big seasonal celebration of holiday, both sacred and secular music, that evening. So we'll have Tapestry Brass, the Atlantic Ringers, the Nautilus Chamber Ensemble, Vero Beach Choral Society, Chancel Choir of Community Church, and the Children's Chorale, and the Atlantic Youth Chorus. All of us together, about 150 singers and musicians together singing, ringing, and playing for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, and you are organizing all of this.
Trying.
Trying. Yes, trying. Well, you've done an absolutely fantastic job. And the community church is becoming known as the Performing Arts Center, really.
Oh, we're still a church, though. We want to always remember we're a church first, and then secondly, we'll do the arts.
I know, but you just do so very much for the arts and for all that the arts mean to us. We're going to come back for one last segment, and we're going to learn a little bit about who Ryan Kasten is.
Watch Sebastian Plus at 7 and 11 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays on SebastianBuzzTV.com. Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
The special concert series includes an R&R duo piano contest. Will you explain that to us, please?
So my good friend Rochelle Salih, who has quickly become noted as one of the finest pianists in the area, along with like Marcos Flores, who's phenomenal, and Jacob Craig, and Rochelle and I decided, and we have such a great time, we wanted to do a duet recital. And it started out, we were the receivers of a wonderful new Busendorfer grand piano at the community church, and we want to actually dedicate it, and I didn't want to do it by myself, and so I asked Rochelle if she would go in partnership with me to do this dedication recital so we could do piano, both 4 hands on 1 piano. Of course, we have the Steinway at community church, so we wanted to do 2 pianos, so we had piano against piano, and then of course we did solo literature well for this. Well, it was so well received that we decided we're going to do this again. Since we have the Steinway and the Busendorfer both at the church, why not take advantage of the fact that we have 2 concert level pianos in the sanctuary that we could use and do this concert. And plus, Rochelle and I we are so much alike, and we're so not right in so many ways. We just hit it off instantly and have this mutual affection and appreciation for each other's talents as well as personalities. So that concert will be in the new year, in 2016, that we'll debut that again. Looking forward to it. Not sure what is going to be on the program yet. She sent me an email the other day, but we're quickly planning it because it's going to be here before I know it.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the duel.
Yes.
Okay, Ryan, please tell us a bit about you and how you found your way into this prestigious position of musical director and organist of Community Church.
Well, actually, it was kind of, I guess, God's doing. I was actually at Florida State working on my doctorate. I was beginning my third year, and at Florida State, they can make or break you by saying, no, we don't want you anymore at any point. So it's you always have that. And I was coming back to my third year, which is actually another review session, and I was actually nervous about it. I mean, I made it, I passed, but I was nervous and I wanted to have a backup plan, so I was actually sending my paperwork out to different churches, and I was on the short list for 3 churches, one in Williston, North Dakota, which is 10 miles from the Canadian border and 10 miles from Montana. It was a great position, just in the middle of nowhere. Also at a church in Fort Myers, and then actually with the Community Church, I was in the final list of consideration, but my timeline didn't fit because they wanted to hire somebody in January, and I wasn't available until May. So they actually sent me a nice letter saying, thank you, but we'll be in touch if we should need anything. So I was like, that was nice. So they hired Sung Sin Lee, but who unfortunately was killed in a car wreck about 2 weeks after Easter and only had been in here 4 months. And I received an email from Jose Daniel saying, are you still interested? And at that point, I was like, sure, why not? And I came down for the interview, and here I am.
That's terrific. What do you see in your future?
Staying here and retiring in Vero Beach.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you, Ryan Kasten, musical director and organist of the Community Church of Vero Beach, for talking with us today. And thank you, viewers, for watching Arts in Depth, presented by the Cultural Council of Indian River County.
See Arts in Depth with Barbara Hoffman, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much. But at ICANN, we work for you. We shop all the private and government plans available, dozens of plans, to find the plan that best suits you and your family's needs at historically low prices.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. It takes the mystery out of comparison price shopping for prescription medicine, giving you the power to instantly find the pharmacy with the lowest price and save possibly hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single year. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Please call 800-345-7585.
Marcia.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!